What's up, everybody, and welcome to ITG Daily, the show that brings you the hottest in gaming news. I'm Drew Bosley. That's the one and only. It is Scott Savage. What's going on, Scott?
Oh, trying to figure out what game to play now. Now that, you know, my schedule's a little bit clear.
Well, we'll see about that. I can fix
It'll
that.
be short-lived, I'm sure.
You know, absolutely. Yeah. What'd you been playing over the weekend? Anything?
Just a bunch of Call of Duty, really. That's kind of my go-to. That and Vampire Survivor. I can't put that game down.
Yeah, I know.
I'm gonna end up rinsing it for all the achievements, but there's 140 of them.
Wow. Are they hard to get?
No.
All right, well, fair enough.
No, it just requires a lot of playthrough.
Yeah, for sure. I was playing, what did I play over the weekend? Siege. Shocker. Played some Assassin's Creed Unity with yourself and my brother. That was fun.
That's right. Yesterday we loaded up Anthem. I don't know if you're proud to admit that, but
it was nice to get back into it. But dude, that's a short-lived experience. That is not gonna last. I was feeling that last night, going, yeah, no, I think I'm pretty well done with this one forever. Yeah, that's disappointing. But dude, let's get into today's show, where people can join us live at 11 a.m. Eastern over on twitch.tv/the official ITG, as well as YouTube at ITG. But you can't join us live, it is up later inside the game.ca podcast services and TV streaming networks around the globe. Today's show, Scott, Team Ninja wants to reboot past fan favorite titles, and one may just be a ninja. Ubisoft updates fans on Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and they're disappointed. And no, you will not see NFTs coming to GTA. Scott, we'll get into that one as well. But to kick things off, I want you to start us off. Take it away.
Well, Team Ninja has reportedly confirmed that Ninja Gaiden and Dead or Alive reboot plans. The studio wants to share more news as soon as possible. This is from Andy Robinson at VGC. It goes on to say that Team Ninja has reportedly confirmed plans to reboot both Reboot both Ninja Gaiden and Dead or Alive in the future. That's what it's all about. That's according to a translation of a talk the developer's president held in South Korea this week. According to RulaWeb, Fumihiko Yasuda said during a panel at the G-Star conference in Busan that he was working to bring fans more news as soon as possible. A slide reportedly shown at the end of his panel shows images of both classic Team Ninja series, along with the headline, "The Future of Team Ninja, Reboot of Popular Series in Japanese." That seems to be as good as you can get to a confirmation, really.
Right? I would think so. Does this make you excited? Are you a fan of either of the series at all?
I never got into Dead or Alive, but
No.
Ninja Gaiden punished me once. I'm trying to remember which one it was. It was on 360. Oh,
Was it? Yeah.
oh, it's so brutal. They say FromSoft games are hard. Well,
dude, I played Ninja Gaiden on the Nintendo like way back in the day. That was my first purchase. Dude, that was the very first game I ever bought. Yep, first game I ever purchased was Ninja Gaiden, and I loved it. It was so hard though. Man, it was hard. That's a tough game. But yeah, that's the first one I ever bought. Yeah, it was cool. See it come back. The thing is, dude, once I played that one, I never went back to it. I was more, because there's a lot more action packed. Kind of reminds me of a modern day version now would be like Sekiro, right? Shadows Die Twice kind of thing, versus Ninja Gaiden from way back in the day. I wonder what they'll look like when they bring them, and they can mesh the two together nowadays. Bring that up. We did see an iteration over, like, say 360 days and stuff like that. I think didn't they have like Ninja Gaiden Black as well or something like that?
I think that was re-released. Right? Yeah. I feel like that was paired with, again, I can't remember. Was it Ninja Gaiden 3?
Yeah. Yeah. So the series has continued on, but it has taken a hiatus as of recently. And then we did see Dead or Alive make a return for Dead or Alive 6, probably about 3 years ago, give or take. Not a series I actually followed very often.
It's been a while that I've seen anything about that at all. I wasn't sure if that was even on last console generation. I have to say last console generation now, meaning Xbox One.
Yeah, times have
Still
changed.
Kind of
Scott.
a weird thought,
isn't it? Yeah. What do you want though, moving forward with the next Ninja Gaiden game?
Well, it has to be the same level of punishing. I think that's just so ingrained in what it is as Ninja Gaiden, that bigger, badder boss fights. That's really it.
No, for sure.
Hopefully the boss at the end of the game has 4 different phases instead of 3. Either way, it's so brutal.
They always have like 3 phases, right? It's such a weird boss trope, I think, at this point. You get through one, oh, you're not done yet, here's another wave, and no, you're not quite done there either, and then the last one is like, wow.
Yeah, and surprise.
Yeah, no, it's not a surprise anymore at this point. Dude, I'm excited. I'm anxious to see what they're gonna bring. Apparently, like, this is obviously years out from seeing much of anything at this point, but it's one of those things. It's nice to see some of us getting returned back to the old days and getting fan favorites. I don't really know if Dead or Alive is really necessary though. How do you feel about that one?
Well, it's another fighter amongst fighters, but I'm not really sure who's king right now.
Street
and
Fighter.
I say that and I think of King of Fighters.
Well, yeah, they made a return this year too, right? So
I believe so. Yeah.
King of Fighters made a return. Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter, I think, are still the main top tier fighting games. I'm trying to think of.
I want to see Soul Calibur, but it just never got there.
Well, why do you think that is?
I think Tekken just took its spot way earlier.
That's fair. That's fair. I wonder if Tekken. I think you either like Tekken or you really don't like Tekken, and then a lot of people are really more involved with the Street Fighter side. I did see Ed Boon talking on Twitter about Injustice 3 and Mortal Kombat 12. Somebody asked what we're getting next, and he put up both. From what we've heard, though,
well, that doesn't really answer the question. I don't
not
think.
at all, right? So, from what we've heard, though, they are working right now on Mortal Kombat 12, which was a bit of a shock because they always alternated, and this time looks like they're going to take a year off of Injustice, unless they've divided into two teams, which then I can't see them want to kind of cannibalize each other for their own, right? Their own teams. So, I think, man, Mortal Kombat 12. I wonder how good that's going to be. I'm a big Mortal Kombat fan. So
I'm wondering what characters we're gonna get out of the box. That's my biggest concern.
Dude, we gotta get Cyrax. Like, they must have heard the feedback, right? Oh, he's in the. Oh, he's not in the game. He's in the story, but he's not in the game. Look, tease. Not gonna get him. DLC character? No, no, still not gonna get him. Oh, that hurts. Speaking of hurts, is Assassin's Creed Valhalla fans get disappointing update from Ubisoft. This comes from Logan Moore of a comicbook.com. Ubisoft has recently shared some disappointing news with those who are still playing Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Ever since the latest Assassin's Creed installment launched back in 2020, many fans have been calling for Ubisoft to add New Game Plus mode to the experience. And while Ubisoft has admitted that it looked at bringing this feature to Valhalla, the developer has now let fans know that it's decided against the inclusion. Scott, they're not getting New Game Plus mode.
That is a bit of a letdown because I know people like that hardcore experience, but at the same time, how much do you play that game that you're going to get to the beginning or the end rather and restart? That's another 1,000 hours.
Absolutely. Quote,
Not that there's anything wrong with that. It's just, holy, that's a lot of game.
Yeah. We also want to provide an update on the highly requested feature New Game Plus mode. Community feedback is what continually pushes us to improve our experiences. Since the release of Assassin's Creed Valhalla, the team has been working hard on expanding the core experience of the game with your feedback in mind, Ubisoft said on his blog. Assassin's Creed Valhalla has been built as a unique Assassin's Creed experience, one that is very different from its predecessors in its structure. That's for sure, Scott. Offering new ways of engaging with the world and its characters. When investigating the implementation of New Game Plus, we realized that the depth of the game gave us limited options to make replayability unique and rewarding. We understand this news will come as a disappointment. However, we hope the new content released in the past months, including never before seen experiences like Forgotten Saga, dude, that's a cool game mode, has provided us exciting and challenging experiences for those seeking more replayable content. Don't forget though, Scott, coming on December 6th is the final chapter for Assassin's Creed Valhalla. This will wrap up Eivor's story, and this is what I've been waiting for. Man, I was just talking to Ubisoft this morning. Hopefully we're going to get our codes early, and then Corey and I can jump in and wrap up that story and then put Valhalla to rest. Which would be nice. And then, go ahead.
I saw something about Mirage having gameplay. I'm not sure if that was a leak or official. I didn't see it myself, but there was something about that.
Speaking of, Scott, Assassin's Creed Mirage is the next title that is due to release sometime in next year. No release date as of yet, but it's one of the probably my most anticipated titles for Assassin's Creed in a long time.
Was it stated early 2023? I think that was the case, yeah.
Yeah, early 2023. So if we wrap up Valhalla on December 6th, early, I don't think we'll see it in January. I think we'll probably see it February, March. I'd probably say March is kind of where I'm thinking. That's my guess at this point, but we'll see what happens. February is a busy month. Like, please don't put it in February. We got enough stuff to cover in February that we'll be swamped with things to do already. And I really want to take my time to invest in Mirage because it brings me back to the Altair days and kind of going back to the original landscape and you know, that kind of feel of where Assassin's Creed started. The way they talk about Mirage and how they're kind of going back to their roots, and the stealth is going to be implemented. And oh man, like I'm very excited to get back into Assassin's Creed. I'm also very excited to get back into Valhalla too. I really do want to wrap up Eivor's story and see how all that concludes. And yeah, there's a certain character. He's now featured in Mirage. And so yeah, there's a couple questions. I was like, hey, what's going on here? And yeah, now we're gonna wrap it up. I'm a little nervous how long the experience is gonna be, because in Ragnarok, their DLC, dude, that's like a 50-hour experience.
Oh, yeah, I don't think it'll be a small one.
No. So I'm wondering, are we going to be in for 30, 40 hours? Like, dude, the DLCs for Valhalla almost feel like its own separate game because it is so big, right? It kind of reminds me a little bit of The Witcher, which is coming soon as well, right? Speaking of, dude, that's another one that's coming just around the corner. Witcher 3 next-gen editions, so they're going to be available real soon. So it's one of those things like, holy man, like there's going to be a lot on the go. And with Valhalla going, how big is this game going to be? DLCs in the past we've seen be maybe 3, 4, 5 hours. Now they're starting to scale them up to be about 30, 40 hours. When you get in, like I said, Ragnarok, where you can be in there for 50 hours plus. Man, like that's not a small feat when you're talking about bringing the game in or bringing the team in to make a little DLC.
Is it mostly just a collectathon kind of add-on?
No, it's story content.
Because I can see how that would draw it out.
There are those elements, of course. It is a Ubisoft title after all, right? They will be things to collect and go gather up and this, that, and the other. But there's a ton of story content in there as well. Like a lot of story content. I was like, whew. Yeah, I was a little blown away by it. So
Valhalla is so intimidating to me. I did play it way back in the day, but it was on Stadia, and we know what happened there. But to restart a whole new game, I know it's going to be so much time.
It's a ton of time, right? And I got to go back to Rogue. Rogue is the only one I have not finished. I've started it, but I've not finished it. And because it is so further back, dude, it's kind of clunky and harder to play and stuff like that. But at the same time, it's the last one on the Assassin's Creed list of games that I haven't completed. I've beaten every other one.
It's the one that's still the old school way of doing it. The first iteration of Assassin's Creed. So that'll get you a little bit more ready for Mirage. It
will, yeah. Because Mirage is going to go back old school, but it still brings some of that new tech forward. So, yeah, man, exciting. Rockstar, let's get into Rockstar as they ban NFTs in new GTA Online role-playing server rules. This comes from James Batchelor over GamesIndustry.biz. Rockstar Games has clarified that it won't allow Grand Theft Auto Online players to do on role-playing servers. On Friday, the developer posted a new statement to its support page confirming third-party role-play servers in which players choose to immerse themselves in the role of someone living in the game world, behaving like a police officer or a taxi driver, for example. Rockstar Games has always believed in reasonable fan creativity and wants creators to showcase their passion for our games, the company wrote. Third-party roleplay servers are an extension of the rich array of community-created experiences within Grand Theft Auto that will continue to thrive in a safe and friendly way for many years to come. However, the company said that under publisher Take-Two legal enforcement policy, some actions and behavior will not be allowed. One sector covered that what Rockstar referred to as, quote, commercial exploitation, end quote. Players are not permitted to sell loot boxes for real-world currency, GTA's virtual money, sell other virtual currencies, or integrate cryptocurrencies and crypto assets such as NFTs. Scott, I never even thought of that coming into the world of GTA Online for role-playing service.
No, now is that just there? Still not certain how NFTs work. Is there a possibility of bringing that into the game? Well, I didn't think so, but then. No. So is this just trying to use that place as a market? You're trying to sell your NFTs on GTA? I can see how that would be a problem.
But I don't. So when you're doing a role play, now granted, we're not well versed in the section of role playing for Grand Theft Auto. So keep that in mind as we talk about it.
I have a friend that has a little bit of experience they've passed on to me, but
perfect. That's good.
They played as a police officer.
Okay. So here's the thing: when you get into the NFT stuff, you need to be you have to be in some kind of creative element, right? So how can you build an NFT to sell within GTA? That's where I get confused, because if you go off and you build something and say, like Minecraft, even though like Microsoft shut that down. But you can build within Minecraft, right? You can create your own world. Here, you're kind of creating your own story from within the assets that are already in the game. It's not like you're bringing something else into the game. Here's a new T-shirt. Like I didn't think you could do that. Does that make sense?
I don't believe that's possible. No, I still don't. Well, I think back to the Troy Baker's mentioning of NFTs, and you can't just take somebody's voice and put it into a game. It doesn't work like that.
No.
It would require every game developer on the planet to get along and then include their coding, and it just seems unlikely to me.
Yeah, so I don't know. I was a little shocked to see that. Interesting to see it, but a little shocked to see it as well, because I wasn't sure how they could implement it. But speaking of NFTs, PlayStation has been working on NFTs and blockchain technology. Sony patent reveals. Tom Ivan over at VGC has a huge article. Go check it out if you're interested in all this. We're going to give you the kind of like the highs here, the little highlight touches. And if you're watching on the video feed or over on our television networks, we're actually playing the All-Stars, or not the All-Stars, the PlayStation Stars trailers, and that's kind of where I think a lot of this is starting to stem from, Scott. A newly published patent shows Sony Interactive Entertainment has been actively exploring to use NFTs and blockchain technology in games. NFTs are unique, non-interchangeable units of data stored on a blockchain, a form of digital ledger, which effectively allows users to buy and sell digital products like in-game items or artwork. Originally filed last year and published this month, the Sony patent is titled Tracking Unique In-Game Digital Assets Using Tokens or Distributed Ledger. It covers a system which could be used to track the creation of, use, modification, or transfer of digital assets created within a game and or assets created based on gameplay of a video game. There's a lot going on here. Skilled players are ones that they're looking to really kind of highlight and take precedence on here. Individuals often find it meaningful to own or use physical items related to respected celebrities or activities. The background section of the patent notes, for example, fans of a skilled baseball player like Babe Ruth or of baseball in general often seek to purchase, own baseball autographed by Babe Ruth, baseballs hit by Babe Ruth, or an important baseball game, trading cards depicting Babe Ruth, and the like. Scott, this is where they're building off of. This is where I honestly kind of think a lot of this PlayStation Stars is starting to come into effect. When they said they announced this and they were talking about bringing this over, like this sounds like the world of NFT is starting to get integrated a little bit here with PlayStation. And I'm kind of curious as to how this is going to relate, because you guys were here on the weekend. It was great to finally catch up in person, Scott. And as Steve shows us his PlayStation Stars, I'm like, dude, but what do you do with it?
Yeah.
Right?
Well, I still don't understand the NFT. Can you take somebody's game, in this case, and reverse engineer, steal a bit of it, and make that into an NFT? That doesn't seem legal or incredibly useful to me, unless you're going to take Doom Guy and make him an NFT.
No, for sure. We got to go back into the GTA real quick here as Jojo jumps online and says, make a shop in GTA and link them to the NFTs. That's how you do it. You pretend it's in there. Huh, that's an interesting little aspect. I wondered
how would you link to anything? Like,
I don't know, because you can't insert. Can you insert text or some kind of, like, you'd have to tell people about it? I don't know. Like, you can't just post an image in GTA.
It would have to
Rockstar's not going to let you do that.
It would have to be a Discord or something. You're like, okay, well, give me this many of whatever, and that equals how many you bought. That's a strange market. I'm sure somebody will come up with a way of doing it, just because there's always those people are going to duck under the rules.
Yep, absolutely.
I don't know how that would make much sense.
No, for sure. It says here, skilled players of multiplayer video games can gain popularity in multiplayer matches or tournaments, which are often live streamed or otherwise broadcast to numerous viewers. Likewise, well-known players often live stream or otherwise broadcast gameplay to single player or multiplayer video games, for instance, in which the player perform in attempts, speedruns, in-game challenges, multiplayer matches, and or game activities. Some players who are particularly skilled or charismatic can develop large followings and devoted fans, much like fan following for famous athletes, singers, actors, and other celebrities. In some of the video games, the player can use digital assets during gameplay. Scott, I think it really comes down to, at the end of the day, if the market can support if the game itself can build a market within it, I think that's how you do it. You don't have to worry about, a lot of people right now are like, dude, the metaverse is all over the place. The NFT market is a bit of a disaster right now. There are a lot of questions going on, but again, it all comes back to, I think, the PlayStation stars and where Sony's looking to head forward. I know you're a little skeptical of it. I'm definitely got a lot of questions on it myself, but I'm wondering if there can add any value. What can we do with these PlayStation stars? Steve said if you play enough, right, you get rewarded and then you can go in and buy a game. I think that's a cool aspect to it all.
Yeah, there's something there. I don't understand anything about NFTs being more than just a strange imagination. It's like imagination for adults. I don't know. I don't know what value an NFT is ever supposed to take on, and it feels like it's being shoehorned into this in this case.
It can be, right? It honestly can be, and I think that's the biggest fear moving forward is that, you know how loot boxes came on and they came on real strong and everybody's like, whoa man, like we don't even know what we're getting here, and a lot of questions kind of started swirling around that. Yeah. But then we eventually moved over to battle passes, and that way now you can see what you're getting. And so if you do like the battle pass, then you purchase the battle pass. But it's when you purchase that battle pass, then what do you do with those items that are in there? So if I go into Fortnite, right, and I did season 1, and I've got some cool skins in there, but I no longer want those skins. If I could then sell those skins to somebody who just came in on like season 8, maybe they want it, so I can sell them and maybe get a bit of some V-Bucks. I'm afraid, right?
I'm afraid every new game I start now is going to be filled with vendors trying to sell me junk stickers.
Well, there's that possibility as well. So there's gonna be a fine line of how they're gonna be able to do this, how they're gonna implement it. And Litho Studios is one company I'm following pretty closely. It's John Garvin over there, creator of Days Gone, working on an NFT based survival game called Ashfall. That sounds cool, coming with a comic book and a whole bunch of other things like that. But one I'm definitely following to see how they're going to implement it and how they're going to do it properly. This also coming to PlayStation and Xbox, which currently doesn't support NFTs. So there's that side of it too, right? So they're coming in over there. Just play the game. But if you're on PC and you're tied into your MetaMask, maybe then you have some other assets you can kind of go out and about and trade and this, that, and the other. I don't know. Interesting little times are kind of changing. But Scott, I want to get to one thing. It is the holiday season. It's nearly upon us. And the Xbox Series X is now even cheaper than the Nintendo Switch.
Yeah, that was a surprise to me to see.
Dude, this is Ethan over at Kotaku. This is awesome. The Xbox Series S is without question my favorite home console in years. It's small, sleek, and runs like a Swiss watch. It's also incredibly affordable at just $300, but somehow it just got even cheaper. Microsoft announced earlier today that the Game Pass juggernaut will be discounted to $250 this holiday season. So there it is. If you want a new Xbox, Scott, this is the way to go. It is less power than the Xbox Series X, smaller hard drive space, but it gets you to that next generation. Because right now, as my wife plays on the Xbox One X, dude, it is lagging behind.
Oh, the One X used to be such a piece of pride for me. I loved that thing.
Yeah.
And then it just inexplicably stopped working.
Yeah, that's too bad. But
yeah, it's a big paperweight now downstairs, unfortunately.
That hurts. Scott, we do have 2 releases today. What are they, my friend?
We have Climber, Sky is the Limit on PC, and Cats and Other Lives on PC.
That's a you game. Dude, that's all you.
That.
I thought you would. Dan, just like that, that'll wrap up today's show, everybody. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. This has been ITG Daily, the show that brings you the hottest in gaming news. You can always join us over on Twitch as well as YouTube, but if you can't join us live, it is up later inside the game.ca podcast services and TV streaming networks around the globe. Until tomorrow, everybody, I'm Drew, that's Scott, and we'll see you inside the game.